Okay, now we have chosen the trees that we want, the kind of fruits that we want. Then the next stage is where to plant it. You can use it in a combination with the vegetables and fruits. If you have a smaller space, tree goes vertical, the vegetables will go horizontal. You can do that, like the way I did for the strawberry beds there. The trees are there, and strawberries are taking the space between them. That's the way of doing it, using the maximum space. You can build a patio between them, just somewhere that you can stand without getting muddy in the winter or rainy days. And yeah, this is the way you do it. But the most important thing after that is to find the proper space. Proper spacing depends on the rootstock you are choosing. Rootstock. What's the rootstock? Rootstock is the root that will provide the food for the tree. So up to here, that can be an unproductive tree on its own, most probably. But it has good root system. In a way, if it is dwarfing, semi-dwarfing, vigorous or semi-vigorous, that determines how much the roots will spread in the soil, how long, for how far, and how much food will be available to the graft. Graft is the productive part of the tree from a known parentage that will give you exactly what you want, the fruit that you want with the qualities that you have in your mind. So the rootstock, as I told, for this space that I have used here, mostly are dwarfing and semi-dwarfing. So if I talk about the apples, that is M27 rootstock that I've chosen here. This will grow nothing more than the 1.5 meter to 1.8 meters. So practically you will have a limited amount of the space taken by this, but that means also your fruit will be limited. If you go for the dwarfing rootstock, which is M27 for the apples, this means in this case I have given the space for about 1.60 centimeter between each tree. That is the amount of the space I've given. My neighbors have given similar or less. I don't recommend less because that means practically you will not be able to move between the trees. But if you have that amount, that's the minimum I recommend. Then, if you have more than one row of the trees, and if you, of course we are talking about the apples now, then you will give the next row more space by working in a zigzag pattern. From that tree to that tree, 1.5 meter, 1.60. So the next tree are planted in the line which is between them. So that tree is there, that tree is there. In the line between them, okay, there is a line. I joined them together there. In the middle of that line, 1.80 centimeter, I came back and planted this tree. This is, of course, a peach tree, Avalon Pride. And then I start a row again here, 1.60 centimeter. The next tree, which is this Iranian medlar. Then the next Iranian medlar goes there. Then the next tree, which is a pear, in the Queen's C rootstock, which is again semi-dwarfing or dwarfing rootstock of Concord pear, will be here, 1.60 centimeter. The next 1.60 is this taken by this Marjorie seedling, plum. So the next row, again joining the line between this and that tree, in the middle of it, 80 centimeter, extending 180 centimeter. I come to this point. 180 centimeters is about 6 feet. So I come to this point. That's the place that I planted this topaz apple. And again, another tree there. That's a cherry, 1.60 centimeter. In this direction, another cherry, 1.60 centimeter. And then going on. The distances are like that in a zigzag pattern. So practically, I have maximized the space between this tree and this tree by avoiding to plant them in a straight row, in a straight line. This is one row. The next row is not exactly opposite each other, as you see here. One is there, next is there. The next tree on this row is not opposite this, is not opposite that one, is somewhere in the middle. So that increases the maximum space between this tree and that tree. That maybe is about, it's a Pythagoras theorem, you can just calculate it, is more than 2 meters of space between these two in this way. And that's the trick you do in a limited space to have your trees planted. Of course, next time I will talk about the rootstock, because this was for M27 and dwarfing rootstocks or semi-dwarfing rootstocks. I did have just this space. If you have more space, or if you wanted bigger tree, that means you will go for a different rootstock. We will talk about that later in the next episode. Beautiful day, sun is rising, slightly hiding behind the clouds, but hopefully they will vanish. This side of the sky is blue, and heralding the coming of a new day. This is the 2nd of the December 2015, and yet Topaz Apple is going. I'll make a separate video about that.